Thank you so much for being here. I know you have taken out time out of your regular schedule on a Friday to listen to us. And I'm sure a lot of you are our customers. But what I'm going to talk about is how we are helping finance community as well as CFOs to do better using the latest and greatest of technologies, right? SAP is a technology company and we are doing quite a bit from an AI perspective as well, which can help you reimagine finance processes and reimagine how you run your functions, right? So when it comes to a CFO, what we kind of thought about is what are those challenges and opportunities that a CFO is looking at, right? I think in the first panel, you heard that there are so many aspects and CFO has really become a strategist, right? So it's not just about managing costs, it's about growing business as well to make sure that you are actually partnering with a lot of the operational stuff. At the same time, you need to be able to also mitigate risk in the business. I think that was very clear in the first panel, right? At the same time, you need to also, let's say, attract talent within your business, make the right, have the right people in your team, and you need to harness technology, right? So that all of this can actually come true and you are able to manage it in the best possible manner. As some of the panelists also said that the reaction time is continuously reducing, right? And since this reaction time is reducing, technology can come and actually bridge that gap and actually help you in making decisions in a lot more faster and informative manner, right? And that's where you plan how can your business be resilient, right? So given this challenges and opportunities, what we also saw is that too much time is actually spent by the finance community on operational tasks, right? So maybe 20% from a value generating perspective and 80% on operationals. How can we actually go ahead and reverse this situation wherein we can amplify the impact of your team as well as yourselves to spend more time on value generating activities like the panel said, a lot of them said around scenario planning, right? Risk management, right? What is the impact to their business, right? So we have taken this into consideration and we have looked at, let's say, processes in different ways, right? How can we make all the finance processes that are being run in your business more intelligent and more AI driven? Now, where can AI be actually used, right? AI can be used in 4 ways. One is transactional, right? So you want to automate your transactions, you want to make them more agile, more faster without any manual intervention, right? That is one way of doing it, right? That is where AI can help. Second is information, right? So today, if you ask a question to one of your team members as to how we are doing on, let's say, DSO, Day Sales Outstanding, right? Is it available at a click of a button? Or is it something that he has to prepare for a report? Or can you just simply ask that question to the system and the system is giving you an answer, right? There's nobody involved, you just ask it to the system understands what is day sales outstanding, it gives you an answer. That is second one, which is information. So you have transaction, you have information, right? Third is guidance. How do I do this, right? It goes beyond information, right? So AI can actually help in terms of handling situations and guiding you what your options are and what is the implication of that option, right? And fourth is analytical, okay? So how you are doing on various parameters of the business, analyze that information and actually give you a predictive forecast as to, based on the history, how would you do, right? What are the scenarios that are coming up? What are the best case scenarios, worst case scenarios? All of this can be actually done using AI. And I'll give you 5 examples where we have actually done this. in different processes, right? So we'll start with order to cash, cash and liquidity, financial planning, scenario planning, compliance, sustainability, and shared services business, or making sure that your processes are running in a compliant manner. So let's take at one of the examples, right? So what we have done is that a lot of our receivables or customer invoices are stuck because of disputes with the customer. Either it could be contract level dispute, it could be dispute related to the delivery, it could be dispute related to the pricing. But how can machine learning and AI be used to actually resolve these disputes, right? And that's where SAP actually comes in, and they have innovated over here. Can you start the video, please?
Let's take a closer look at how AI can enhance daily tasks in the field of dispute management. James works in the customer relations team at a consumer electronics company. His job is to communicate with customers regarding their purchases and resolve any billing discrepancies or disputes. Ready to face another busy day, James jumps straight into his work list. Luckily, AI has already sorted through the customer inquiries and responded to them directly. Let's see which inquiries require James's intervention. At the top of his work list is a customer email from Alice. Based on sentiment analysis, the AI system detects that the customer is dissatisfied with her recent purchase and flags the case as urgent. Generative AI summarizes the key details for James from Alice's original email. The customer is not satisfied with the headset and keyboard purchased and requests a refund. James navigates into the details, where he can review the email correspondence and further information on this order. He proceeds with creating a dispute by selecting the invoice and the corresponding line items from this order. AI automatically suggests the disputed amount and reason code, along with the percentage of certainty. James can further check if there are better choices for this dispute, where he can also see additional suggestions from the AI. After confirming the selection, all the data is automatically passed to Cloud ERP, and the financial dispute is ready for further processing. James can review the process documents along with the process flow. Now that James has resolved the matter, he wants to communicate the news to Alice. Formulating a response can be cumbersome and time-consuming, but generative AI is there to help. The AI analyzes the email correspondence and the chosen resolution, then generates a well-structured and professionally worded response. James reviews the AI-generated email to ensure it accurately reflects the situation and his intended message. Satisfied with the content, he sends the email. With all the AI support he gets, James feels positive that he can comfortably manage his workload and keep his customers happy.
Right, so 2 or 3 things that you could actually see there was that, one, it brought in all the relevant information around the dispute, which is the invoice, which is the customer, etc., based on the email automatically from the cloud ERP system. The second thing that you saw was that it understood what is the sentiment of the email, right? Third, what AI did was it also identified what kind of a dispute it is and what is the likelihood of this dispute getting resolved, right? And fourth, it actually gave a response, helped you draft a response. So the entire work that probably would have taken maybe an hour for a dispute resolution is done in maybe minutes or seconds, right? And that's where efficiency comes in, and that's where the transactional automation comes in, right? The second aspect that I'm going to talk about is how can you improve, let's say, your cash and liquidity management and actually plan better and predict cash flows in such a way that AI would ensure that you have the right balances with the right banks at the right point in time, and you are covered for your expenses, right? Reduces a lot of the finance costs. So let's look at an example of how SAP actually helps you with predicting the cash flow. Can you run the video, please?
A recent survey into business-to-business payment behavior has revealed a massive increase in global late payments. The survey revealed compromised cash flows. The value of invoices more than 90 days overdue has doubled. It has become even more important to understand the prediction of late payments, the impact to the overall cash flow, and what appropriate actions to take. SAP Analytics Cloud, or SAC, provides augmented analysis that helps you predict and optimize your organization's cash flow. Predict cash flow. Looking at this SAC dashboard, you see 3 columns of information. The left column shows real-time data, highlighting the current total amount of payments overdue by time buckets. It reveals that there are over 52 million scheduled to be paid on time and specific amounts overdue in each time bucket. It also shows the current overdue amount by customer to help you understand who owes the most. The chart at the bottom shows the number of clearing days trending over time. Predictive forecasting in SASE shows that the shaded area is indicating that you can expect customers to pay later moving forward. With this information and the power of augmented analysis in SAC, you can see predictions for your customers' anticipated payments. In the middle column are total payments predicted to be made on time and the payments expected to be late in each time bucket. The prediction is that fewer payments will be made on time, with more payments getting pushed out into future time frames. You see which customers are predicted to have the largest amount of overdue payments, and how the total number of predicted payment days is trending. In this case, it is trending up.
So what basically AI can help you with is to actually understand what has been the history of a particular customer, what has been the history of your financials, and predict at the most granular level that whether a particular invoice that you have billed to the customer is going to actually be paid on time, and if not, how much delay could be expected, right? This is something which is a data analytics or analysis use case. So AI can actually help you over there as well, right? The third piece is around interaction and information, right? The financial planning and analysis, we have our own solution called SAC Planning, which allows you to actually do the entire AOP as well as reforecasting and the annual budgeting exercise as well. Now, how can we actually interact with this system in the most easy fashion? Like speaking to, let's say, your child. If you want to actually interact, that's where our Joule or our digital assistant actually comes into the picture. So basically, SAC has
Let me
this
demonstrate
ability.
Joule, SAP's generative AI copilot, in SAP Analytics Cloud. As a story viewer, I want to get some help from Joule. So, I open the Joule panel. I don't have to start from scratch, there are already some suggestions of questions recommended for me. Let me choose one of them. I can get some insights from the data, and of course, I can also ask more relevant questions. So, for instance, I want to know the top 5 sales managers by discount, and I can get this. Then I can also click on the charts that are already available on my story. I'm not limited to that, I can double-click on the chart and go to show the preview dialog. On this preview dialog, I can do more actions than drill down. Next, as the story designer, I open the Joule panel. With the chart generated, I can either click the button here to copy the chart, or I can drag and drop it to precisely position it on the canvas. I can now go one step further to ask questions that involve calculations, like average gross margin. Finally,
So basically, what you're doing is you are actually building your entire story, your dashboard, just by typing in English. And based on the English or the question that you are asking, it is understanding what is the kind of information that you need, what is the kind of representation that would be fit for it, and what is the kind of charting that would be fit for it, and it automatically brings in that information. So that is the third type of use cases, which is information. So all of the information on a real-time basis is available with SAC, and the digital assistant understands the English context, uses Gen AI, converts it to a business query, and actually gives you the information, right? The fourth aspect or area is around compliance and sustainability, and making sure that the way you are running the business is the right way you are running the business. And that's where our business integrity screening kind of application comes in, which allows you to detect fraudulent or prevent fraudulent transactions with any of your partners, right? Let's have a look at that as well. So basically, yeah, basically business integrity screening allows you to actually detect any kind of anomaly within your SAP or non-SAP systems. It allows you to then use machine learning algorithms to further refine that detection algorithm. And not just that, it actually gives you payment or alerts before the transaction actually happens, right? So there is a lot of power in this kind of integrity screening, which detects patterns, which detects relationships. So what you saw an example was that you are about to pay a particular vendor. The vendor's director's brother or the vendor's associate's director is actually a blacklisted person. It has done that relationship matrix and identified that you are actually paying to a sanctioned party, right? So that kind of actually intelligence can be built in terms of doing detection of, unneeded transactions or suspicious transactions. Further, what we have also embedded, a lot of cost savings in terms of automation of shared services, whether it is to do with invoice processing, using optical character recognition, or using document extraction using AI, right? So I'll actually say that our cloud ERP, the latest offerings that we have from SAP are all embedded with AI, whether it is finance, whether it is project management, supply chain, we are embedding AI into every process, right? And that's where the finance community also can leverage us and actually give us a feedback right now and let us know whether this session was useful to you. Please carry, if you can take out your phones and scan the QR code and give us a feedback. Thank you. I'm afraid that's the time that I have. I'm Keval Shah. I didn't introduce myself, but I lead the customer advisory for ERP and finance for the India market unit from SAP. You can get me in touch. You can get in touch with me during the evening. Thank you so much for your time.